Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins, History Coin Lovers, and Treasure Hunters. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most surprising finds in the world of U.S. coin collecting. Let's get the satire at top 6 first up, the 1973 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark. Believe it or not, this ordinary-looking 5-cent coin could be worth a small fortune in today's market. So sit tight, because this coin might just be the one sitting in your change jar that could make you rich overnight. The 1973 Jefferson Nickel is part of one of the most iconic coin series in U.S. history, the Jefferson 5-cent series, which began in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, this nickel features a striking profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse side, and his famous home Monticello on the reverse. Even though millions were minted, certain 1973 nickels have become extremely valuable, especially those with special conditions, rare errors, or unique qualities. Now, here's the key detail. The 1973 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Back then, Philadelphia coins didn't carry a mint mark at all. So technically, all no-mint mark nickels from 1973 are from that mint. However, among those millions, a select few have exceptional traits, such as perfect strikes, flawless surfaces, or rare die errors, that make them worth thousands to collectors. At first glance, the 1973 nickel might not appear special. It's made from a copper-nickel alloy, weighs 5 grams, and measures 21.2 millimeters in diameter. But the magic lies in the details. Pristine condition, die variations, and full steps on the Monticello building are what separate ordinary coins from the extraordinary treasures sought after by numismatists. Collectors and coin graders pay close attention to the full steps designation, which refers to the clearly defined steps on the reverse side of Monticello. If a 1973 no-mint mark nickel has sharp, uninterrupted steps, it can dramatically increase its value. The full steps variety is scarce for this year, especially in high grades, making them a true collector's dream. Let's talk numbers. The average circulated 1973 Jefferson nickel is only worth 5 to 25 cents, depending on its wear. But once you move into higher grades, the value skyrockets. An uncirculated 1973 nickel with no mint mark can fetch anywhere between $10 and $50, and when graded MS65 or higher with full steps, the price can soar beyond $500. Here's where it gets exciting. Some of the finest known examples of the 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson nickels have sold for massive prices at auction. A perfectly preserved MS67 full-step specimen, graded by PCGS or NGC, has fetched over $1,500 to $2,000 depending on market demand. These rare coins are few and far between, and every collector dreams of finding one in perfect mint state. But that's not all. Error varieties of the 1973 Jefferson Nickel can be worth huge money too. Coins struck off-center, double die obverse or reverses, and planchet errors, where the metal blank is flawed, can push values even higher. Some rare 1973 error nickels have sold for $3,000 or more, proving that even minor minting mistakes can turn an everyday coin into a fortune. One of the reasons this coin is so collectible is because the 1973 series bridges two important eras in the Jefferson Nickels history. The design had remained unchanged for decades, but the minting quality and strike details varied dramatically. This inconsistency created a small number of perfectly struck examples, and those are the ones that collectors go crazy for today. Condition is everything when it comes to coin collecting. A simple 1973 nickel found in pocket change may not seem valuable, but if it's been preserved in a coin album or protected from circulation, it could be worth inspecting under magnification. Subtle details like sharp rims, clear lettering, and undamaged surfaces could mean you're holding a gem-quality coin. If you want to know whether your coin is valuable, the best step is to have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These grading companies assign a numerical grade that determines market value. Coins graded MS65 or higher are considered premium quality, and when paired with a full steps feature, the worth multiplies dramatically. Collectors around the world continue to chase the 1973 no-mint mark Jefferson Nickel because it represents the thrill of finding hidden value in ordinary change. While most of these coins are worth face value, the rare top-graded examples are the ones that make headlines and excite the collecting community. The key takeaway is simple: always check your change. That old nickel lying forgotten in a drawer could be one of the rare 1973 no mint mark full steps examples worth thousands. These coins prove that even in modern times, treasure still exists in plain sight. You just need the right eye and a bit of luck to spot them. Clapperboard. So there you have it. The 1973 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark. A small coin with massive potential. If you got one of these, check it carefully. It might just make you rich overnight. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and who knows, the next valuable nickel might be in your pocket right now. Next up in today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins hiding in plain sight, the 1982 D. Jefferson Nickel. That's right. This ordinary-looking 5-cent coin could actually be worth a small fortune in today's market. So before you spend your spare change, make sure you don't have one of these rare beauties in your collection or wallet, because it might just make you rich overnight. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and has been a mainstay of U.S. coinage ever since. Designed by Felix Schlag, the obverse features a dignified portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, while the reverse shows his famous home, Monticello. By 1982, the U.S. Mint in Denver had already produced hundreds of millions of these coins, but among them, a few special 1982 D nickels stand out as rare treasures worth far more than face value. The 1982 D. Jefferson Nickel was minted at the Denver Mint, marked by the small d under the date on the obverse side of the coin. That year, more than 373 million nickels rolled off the presses, but as with many high production years, a few coins slipped through with unusual characteristics that today's collectors prize above all. Some of these 1982 D nickels display striking errors, die varieties, or exceptional conditions, and that's where the real money lies. One of the key reasons a 1982 D. Jefferson Nickel can fetch incredible prices is because of minting errors. A few examples are known with off-center strikes, double dies, and even planchet errors, where the coin was struck on the wrong metal or slightly misaligned. These types of errors are extremely rare and make each coin unique. Depending on the type and clarity of the error, collectors have paid hundreds to even thousands of dollars for the right specimen. But not every 1982 D nickel has to be an error coin to be valuable. In fact, condition plays a massive role. Coins that are preserved in pristine, uncirculated mint state MS condition can be worth far more than their face value. A 1982 D nickel graded MS67 or higher by PCS or NGC is extremely difficult to find because of the coin's soft metal composition and the heavy use these nickels saw in circulation. If you're lucky enough to find one that's flawless, you might be sitting on a small gold mine. In recent years, coin auctions have shocked collectors with the prices paid for top-grade 1982 D. Jefferson Nickels. For instance, a single 1982 D nickel graded MS67 Plus sold for over $3,500. Yes, that's thousands of dollars for a 5-cent coin. And if you find one with a striking error or full steps on Monticello, the value could climb even higher. The full steps designation means the steps on Monticello are completely visible and well-defined, something extremely rare for nickels of that year. The full steps, FS, features a holy grail for Jefferson nickel collectors. When a coin has sharp, complete steps on the Monticello design, it indicates a perfect strike, something that didn't happen often in 1982. The dies that struck these coins wore down quickly, making full steps examples exceedingly rare. A 1982 DFS nickel in mint state can easily bring $1,000 to $4,000, depending on its grade and overall eye appeal. Let's talk about the auction market. According to certified coin sales and price guides, the top-tier 1982 D. Jefferson Nickels have repeatedly broken records at auctions held by Heritage and Stack's Bowers. Collectors have shown a strong appetite for these coins, especially those with PCGS MS67 FS grades. A few of these nickels have sold for as much as $4,500, with values continuing to climb as fewer high-grade examples remain in collectors' hands. The demand for Jefferson Nickels, particularly from the 1980s, has skyrocketed in the last decade. As collectors complete their sets, they realize that finding a top-quality 1982 D nickel is one of the toughest challenges. The scarcity of these coins in pristine condition combined with the popularity of nickel series, collecting has driven prices up significantly, and they show no signs of slowing down. If you're wondering how to spot a valuable 1982 D Jefferson nickel, start by checking the mint mark D under the year, then carefully inspect the Monticello steps with a magnifying glass. Look for crisp details, strong luster, and absence of scratches or wear. If you spot a coin with full steps or unusual doubling, don't spend it. Get professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Even a small detail can mean the difference between 5 cents and $5,000. Collectors should also look for rolls of nickels from bank vaults, estate sales, or old collections. You'd be surprised how many 1982 D nickels have been sitting unnoticed for decades. Always store your coins in protective holders to preserve their condition. And if you find something special, consider submitting it for grading. A small investment in preservation could turn into a big payday later. So, how much could your 1982 D Jefferson nickel be worth today? The value can range anywhere from a few dollars for nice uncirculated examples to over $4,000 for high-grade full steps coins. And if you happen to discover a new die variety or dramatic minting error, the sky's the limit. Collectors might pay well over $5,000 for the right coin. It truly shows how powerful small details can be in the coin collecting world. So next time you come across a 1982 D Jefferson nickel, don't toss in your change jar. Give it a close look. That tiny piece of metal could be your ticket to a huge payday. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and treasures like the 1982 D nickel remind us that fortune can be found in the most unexpected places. Next up today, we're looking at a coin that many collectors mention with hopeful eyes, the 1989 D Jefferson Nickel. We're going to examine what makes it interesting, how much it's actually worth today, and whether it can truly make you rich overnight. Spoiler, with caveats. First off, let's establish what the coin is. The 1989 D Jefferson Nickel is a business strike 5-cent coin issued by the United States Mint in Denver in 1989. It's part of the long-running Jefferson Nickel series, which began in 1938, and features a standard design of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. For this particular date and mint mark, the mintage was 570,842,474 pieces. Might think this coin would be common, and therefore not worth much beyond 5 cents. And in many cases that is true. When you buy or find a circulated 1989 D Jefferson Nickel in everyday change, it often holds only face value or maybe a modest premium. Indeed, many value guides show just small increments above face in circulated grades. But here's the twist. Within the 1989 D series, there's a key attribute that collectors chase, the so-called full steps or FS variety. Full steps refers to the steps of the Monticello building on the reverse side, 6 fully separated and sharply defined steps. When a coin has the full steps detail in an uncirculated, high-grade state, it tends to command a premium. So let's talk value. How much are we talking when a 1989 D with strong full steps and high grade comes up for sale or auction? According to the price guides and recent auction records, here's what we see. Ordinary uncirculated examples might trade in the single-digit to low double-digit USD range. Some full steps uncirculated coins can reach into hundreds of dollars, and rare specimens graded very high may fetch even more. For example, one guide states that standard uncirculated pieces trade around $7 to $16, while full steps examples can reach $132 or more. However, and this is important, when we check truly top grade, certified examples, the numbers are not yet in the thousands for this particular date, but the rarity begins to show. One source notes that the Champagne auction record for the 1989 D full steps MS66FS is about $316. So yes, there's upside, but it's not yet millions for this year/mint mark when compared to the ultra-rare coins in other years. Let's break it down. If you find a raw, ungraded 1989 D-Jeff nickel with full steps in nice condition, you might have something that can be slabbed and possibly graded. If it grades at MS64 or MS65 with full steps, you might see modest premiums, tens to low hundreds. If it grades at MS66 full steps or higher, and eye appeal is outstanding, you could be looking at the higher end of the market for this date. But even then, it's not guaranteed to make you rich overnight unless you find an extraordinary specimen. Why isn't the value into the thousands or tens of thousands for this date? There are several reasons. First, despite full steps being desirable, the 1989 D is still a relatively common date in lower grades. Second, the population of very high-grade coins, MS66 or MS67, with full steps is small, but not so tiny that only one specimen dominates the market. Thus, value is constrained. According to grading company data, coins from this era, 1980s/1990s, are difficult to find in MS66 condition or higher. For your viewers, if you're making a search through your coin jars, banks, or old rolls, you should heavily consider whether your coin has full steps, whether it's clean and uncirculated, and whether there's strong eye appeal, no major bag marks. Toning might be okay if attractive. If you find one that qualifies, then you can have it slab graded by an established grading service, such as Professional Coin Grading Service, PGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. Getting slabbed increases market confidence and often value. Now, regarding the rich overnight angle, it's exciting to say you found a coin worth thousands, but you must temper expectations. For the 1989 D. Jefferson Nickel, most examples won't fetch thousands. Yet, if you find a stellar example, yes, you can see a nice windfall compared to its face value, but you still must invest in grading, pay fees, and market conditions matter. Also, you'll want to ensure authenticity, proper attribution of full steps, and that the coin hasn't been overly impaired, cleaned, scratched, etc. Also a caveat. There are error varieties and special fine opportunities, but any claim that a 1989 D. Jefferson Nickel will automatically make you rich should be approached with caution. Many coins listed online are misattributed, overgraded, or simply common examples. For instance, many raw coins with full steps are still selling for tens of dollars, not hundreds of thousands. The market for modern coins is always evolving, but you still need to buy smart. The data shows upper tens to low hundreds for good full steps coins at present. From a storytelling perspective, you could build intrigue around finding one in an old roll, having it slabbed, submitting it to auction, and maybe waiting for appreciation over time. But it's not a guaranteed path to overnight riches. The real payoff often comes if you hold on to the coin, protect it in a safe environment, and watch the collector market shift toward demand for high-grade 1980s nickels with full steps. In conclusion, the 1989 D. Jefferson Nickel is a coin worth watching. If you find one with full steps in top grade, it could well be worth a lot more than 5 cents, maybe tens or low hundreds of dollars today, and potentially more down the road. But it's not yet at the level where every example is a gold mine. If you're lucky and smart, you could turn a simple nickel into a noteworthy find. Next up today, we're diving into one of the most exciting coins in modern U.S. history, the 1980p Jefferson Nickel. Believe it or not, this simple 5-cent piece could be hiding a fortune in your change jar. The 1980p nickel might just make you rich overnight, with some rare examples selling for thousands of dollars in today's booming coin market. So, if you think nickels aren't worth much, think again. This one could change your luck completely. Let's start with the basics. The 1980p Jefferson Nickel was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as shown by the P Mint mark located on the right side of Thomas Jefferson's portrait. That year, the U.S. Mint produced a massive 561 million nickels at Philadelphia alone. With such high mintage, most people assume these coins are common and only worth face value. However, within that enormous batch, a few special coins stand out. Coins with striking errors, rare conditions, and unique features that drive their prices into the thousands. The design of the 1980p Jefferson Nickel is classic and timeless. The obverse features a left-facing bust of Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag in 1938, with the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1980. The reverse shows Jefferson's historic home, Monticello, along with "E Pluribus Unum," United States of America, and the denomination 5 cents. While this design may appear simple, the key to a valuable 1980p nickel lies in its condition, strike quality, and mint errors. Now, let's talk about condition, which is everything in the coin world. A regular circulated 1980p Jefferson nickel typically trades for just 5 to 10 cents, but coins that have never been used, the ones preserved in mint state, MS condition, can command serious premiums. For example, an MS-65 grade coin can bring around $15 to $25, but when the grade climbs MS-67 or higher, the value skyrockets into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The most expensive 1980p Jefferson nickel ever recorded at auction sold for a jaw-dropping $2,500. This particular coin was graded MS-67 full steps by PGS, meaning the steps of Monticello on the reverse were completely visible and sharply struck, a feature that's extremely rare for 1980 nickels. The full steps designation is what truly separates a common nickel from a collector's dream. Coins with clear, full steps show perfect striking quality and are considered elite specimens. The term full steps FS refers to the small steps leading up to Monticello. In most 1980 nickels, these steps appear blurry due to weak striking, but in a full steps coin, all 6 steps are clearly defined and uninterrupted. Because achieving this level of detail was difficult for the Philadelphia Mint in 1980, finding one in top condition is like hitting a jackpot. That's why collectors are willing to pay big money for these elusive gems. Aside from condition, mint errors also play a massive role in determining a coin's worth. For the 1980p Jefferson nickel, several stunning errors have been discovered, including off-center strikes, clip planchets, double dies, and struck-through errors. A double die obverse, where Jefferson's profile or the lettering appears doubled, can easily bring hundreds of dollars depending on the visibility and grade. The more dramatic the error, the higher the payout. Some 1980p nickels also feature die cracks, or cuds, where portions of the die broke during minting, leaving raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin surface. These kinds of errors are unique, meaning no two are exactly alike, making them even more desirable to error collectors. A 1980p nickel with a major die crack recently sold for over $300, proving that even flawed coins can become valuable treasures. Collectors also keep an eye out for proof-like or satin-finished nickels from this era. While the Philadelphia Mint didn't officially strike proof coins in 1980, some coins accidentally came out with mirror-like surfaces due to highly polished dies. These accidental proofs, or specimen strikes, are exceptionally rare and can fetch upwards of $1,000 or more when authenticated by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. When evaluating your 1980p nickel, you'll want to pay close attention to several key areas. Look for sharp details on Jefferson's hair and cheekbone, clear steps on Monticello, and strong luster across the surface. Avoid coins with scratches, wear, or discoloration, as these drastically reduce value. Submitting your coin for professional grading can help confirm its condition and unlock its true market worth. The market for Jefferson nickels has grown tremendously in recent years, as more collectors are turning their focus to modern-era coins. The 1980p nickel stands out as a hidden gem from the late 20th century, a coin that represents both everyday American history and the thrill of discovery. With high-grade coins commanding thousands and error coins selling for impressive sums, it's clear that this nickel holds incredible investment potential. So next time you go through your change or check an old coin jar, don't overlook the 1980p nickel. What appears to be just another 5-cent coin could be your ticket to instant profit. Whether the full steps beauty, a rare error, or a high-grade mint state example, your coin might be worth far more than you imagine, possibly enough to make you rich overnight. And that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1980p Jefferson nickel, one of the most valuable modern nickels out there. If you enjoyed learning about this hidden treasure, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more incredible coin stories. Who knows, your next nickel could be worth thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching and happy collecting. Next up, today's video is going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the world of Jefferson Nickels, specifically the 1990 D. Jefferson Nickel, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but certain rare examples have sold for jaw-dropping amounts in the collector's market. So hold on tight, because this little 5-cent coin could be hiding a fortune in your pocket. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American coinage since 1938, honoring the nation's third president, Thomas Jefferson. Minted in Denver with the D mint mark, the 1990 D. Jefferson Nickel might seem like just another modern coin. But appearances can be deceiving, because this particular year and mint mark has produced some highly sought-after examples that collectors are willing to pay huge premiums for, especially when in pristine condition or with rare mint errors. In 1990, the Denver Mint struck over 570 million Jefferson Nickels, a huge number that makes most people assume they're all common. However, out of those hundreds of millions, only a small fraction were struck with perfect dies, preserved without wear, and survived in flawless condition. The higher the grade, the higher the price, and that's where the big money lies. Collectors crave coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, especially those achieving top grades such as MS67 or higher. Most circulated 1990 D nickels are worth just 5 cents, the face value. But when you find one that's uncirculated, especially with brilliant luster, clean fields, and sharp details, you're looking at a serious upgrade in value. Even an MS65 example can fetch around $10 to $30, while superb MS66 and MS67 coins can sell for hundreds. But it doesn't stop there. The record-breaking examples are where things get truly exciting. A perfect MS68 full steps 1990 D. Jefferson Nickel, one that shows every step on Monticello, clearly struck, is an incredible rarity. Only a handful have ever been found in such flawless condition. Because a full steps designation represents superior strike quality, collectors compete fiercely for them. Prices for these elite examples have soared over $1,000, and in rare auction battles, some have approached the $1,500 mark. So what makes the full steps variety so special? It all comes down to the level of detail in the coin's design. On the reverse of the Jefferson Nickel, the steps of Monticello are notoriously difficult to strike clearly. When all 6 steps are visible and separated, without marks or weak spots, it means the coin was perfectly struck from a fresh die. These coins are the creme de la creme for serious collectors. But that's not the only thing that can make your 1990 D nickel valuable. Mint errors are another major factor that can send the price skyrocketing. For example, nickels that were struck off-center, have double dies, or show planchet errors can easily sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the severity and visibility. A dramatic off-center 1990 D nickel once sold for over $800, while a double-struck specimen crossed $1,200 in a recent auction. Now, let's talk about grading, the ultimate key to unlocking a coin's value. Professional grading not only authenticates your coin, but also gives a condition rating from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS70, mint state 70, is considered absolutely perfect, and although no 1990 D nickel has reached that level yet, high-end MS68 examples are known to exist and command staggering prices. The difference of just one grade point can mean hundreds of dollars in value. It's also important to note that the nickel's composition plays a role in its durability. The 1990 D nickel is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a silvery appearance that resists corrosion. However, even tiny scratches or contact marks can lower its grade drastically. That's why collectors always handle these coins with gloves and store them in airtight holders to preserve their condition for decades. Another fascinating aspect of the 1990 D. Jefferson Nickel's value is how modern coin collecting trends have evolved. In recent years, younger collectors and investors have begun targeting modern issues and high grades, creating a surge in demand for coins from the 1980s and 1990s that were once ignored. This has driven prices up dramatically for top-quality nickels, including the 1990 D. When it comes to auction results, this coin has proven that even modern nickels can fetch serious money. One certified MS68 full steps 1990 D. Jefferson Nickel sold for around $1,350 at a Heritage Auctions event. Another, in similar grade, went for $1,200, and even coins graded slightly lower have brought $500 to $700 depending on eye appeal and rarity. That's thousands of times its face value. An unbelievable return for a 5-cent coin. So, how do you know if you have one of these valuable nickels? Start by checking for the D mint mark on the reverse, just to the right of Monticello. Next, inspect the steps under magnification. If they're full and clear, you might be sitting on a winner. If the coin looks uncirculated and shiny, with little to no marks, it could be worth submitting to a grading service for professional evaluation. Even if your 1990 D nickel is a rare error or a full steps masterpiece, it's still part of an important chapter in U.S. numismatic history. The Jefferson Nickel design ran for decades, and collecting them by year and mint mark is a rewarding hobby that can sometimes lead to big discoveries. Many collectors start with coins like this and end up finding treasures worth thousands. So, the next time you get change from the store, take a closer look at those nickels, especially the ones from 1990 with a D mint mark. You might just be holding a piece of American history, worth a small fortune. Some of these coins have literally turned pocket change into life-changing money overnight. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more hidden gems in your coin collection, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the next coin we cover could be the one that makes you rich.